Cinderella's Magical Adventure. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a kind girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters in a big house. But Cinderella was not treated like part of the family. Her stepmother and stepsisters were very mean to her. Cinderella did all the work without complaining because she had a kind heart. She wore an old torn dress and her hands were always dirty from cleaning. The stepsisters laughed at her and called her Cinderella because she was always covered in ashes from the fireplace. Even though her life was hard, Cinderella always dreamed of a happier life. One day, a big announcement came from the palace. A messenger read it out loud in the village square. The king is hosting a grand ball for the prince. All young ladies are invited and the prince will choose his bride. Cinderella's stepsisters were so excited. Cinderella also wanted to go to the ball. "Can I come too?" she asked shyly. "You," laughed her stepmother. "You don't have anything nice to wear." The stepsisters made Cinderella help them get ready. She ironed their dresses, polished their shoes, and styled their hair. By the time they left for the ball, Cinderella was tired and sad. She sat by the fireplace and cried a lot. Suddenly, she heard a voice. "Don't cry, my dear," she said. "I'm your fairy godmother, and I am here to help you." Cinderella wiped her tears. "But how can I go to the ball? I don't have a dress, and I have no way to get there." "Leave it to me," said the fairy godmother. She waved her wand, and something amazing happened. A pumpkin in the garden turned into a golden carriage. 6 little mice turned into handsome horses. A lizard became a smart-looking coachman. Cinderella's old dress turned into a beautiful gown. With sparkling jewels on her feet appeared glass slippers that shined like diamonds. Cinderella could not believe her eyes. "Thank you, fairy godmother," she said. "Now go and enjoy the ball," said the fairy godmother. "But remember, my magic only lasts until the midnight. You must come back before the clock strikes 12. Cinderella nodded and climbed into the carriage. Off she went to the palace. When Cinderella entered the palace, everyone stopped and stared. She was the most beautiful girl they had ever seen. Even her stepmother and stepsisters did not recognize her. The prince noticed her right away. He walked up to her and said, "I have this dance." Cinderella blushed and took his hand. They danced together all night. The prince talked to her and felt very happy. "You?" he asked the Cinderella. Cinderella just smiled. She did not want to tell him her secret. Suddenly the clock began to chime. It was all midnight. Cinderella gasped, "Oh no, I must go." "But why?" asked the prince. "I'm so sorry I had to go," she said and ran away. As she ran down the stairs of the palace, one of her glass slippers fell off. She did not stop to pick it up. She jumped into the carriage and it raced away. Just as the clock finished striking 12, the magic ended. The carriage turned back into a pumpkin, the horses became mice, and Cinderella was back in her old clothes. But she still had one glass slipper in her hand. The next morning, The prince could not stop thinking about the beautiful girl from the ball. He held the glass slipper in his hand and said, I will find her. I will marry the girl whose foot fits this slipper. The prince and his servants went to every house in the village. Every girl tried on the slipper, but it did not fit anyone. Finally, they came to Cinderella's house. Her stepsisters were so excited. Each of them tried to squeeze their feet into the slipper, but their feet were too big. Are there any other girls in the house? Asked the prince. No, said the stepmother quickly. But just then Cinderella came into the room. May I try? She asked softly. Stepmother and stepsisters laughed. It would not fit you. But the prince smiled and said, Of course, you may try. Cinderella sat down and slipped her foot into the glass slipper. It fit perfectly. The prince looked at her and said, You are the one I have been looking for. To the palace, and they were married in a grand celebration. Cinderella forgave her stepmother and stepsisters for being mean to her and invited them to live peacefully in the village. Cinderella and the prince lived happily ever after, spreading kindness and joy wherever they went. So, moral of the story is, be kind, patient, and believe in yourself. Dreams can come true if you stay hopeful.